Jackson's turn to apply the pressure. Jet Explorer's a runner. White Line Fever, but Jackson and Jet Explorer. Here's Jackson with fire in his eyes. And it's Jackson the last 100 like a ball of fire wanted.
One of South Africa's greatest thoroughbreds made a fantastic return to racing on the last day of the KwaZulu-Natal winter season. And he added to his two grade ones already, the Cape of Good Hope Derby right here. Jackson, of course, is back. He's one of the prepotent graduates of the sale, but one swallow doesn't make a summer. There are plenty of these great horses that have come off the sale. Let's dissect some of the classic horses that have come off the National 2-year-old sale and look at what the sale has got to offer this year.
Andrew, one of the greatest legends ever produced on this sale was the famous JJ the Jet Plane. I mean, who could forget what he did for us overseas? He was an amazing galloping advert, and he was an example of a horse that no one wanted. And it's so typical of this game that we put all the science and theory and money into these animals, and they prove us wrong. And I think the sale continues to do that and has done that for many years. Lately we've had some fantastic graduates that are plying their trade overseas, funnily enough. So we seem to be producing international quality horses off the sale time and time again. The likes of Flax, son of Silvano, racing in Singapore at the moment. Closer to home really is the Apache, who's gone overseas. He's campaigned in Dubai. He's now campaigning in Europe for Mike de Kock and his connections, and he's proving to be an amazing advert. And what the sale pretty much stands for: tough, durable horses, sold at the right time of the year. For many of these horses, they need the time. And an 80,000 rand purchase with a 12 million rand earnings, I mean, that's the stuff that dreams are made of, and that is what this sale pretty much stands for.
Well, I'd like to go back to JJ the Jet Plane, because it was the first time that horse racing received national television coverage for quite some time, when he ran against Water Winter and Valderra. Of course, it didn't end up the fairy tale story with them finishing first, second and third, although Valderra and Water Winter did fight it out. But the fact that he was here, the fact that Lucky Houdelakis had taken this horse around the world, he'd been around the world with Mike de Kock, is testament to his A, durability, and B, his popular public appeal.
Absolutely, even with his legs that weren't exactly crowd-pleasing. It just proves that once again it's all about the horse and the spirit within, and he definitely he just defined the spirit of a racehorse. And I mean, who could ever forget the rallying cries of JJ the Jet Plane? I mean, the most aptly named horse that I've heard of for many a year.
Well, being part of JJ and his career has been unbelievable. As we know, anyone could probably have been part of the journey, and just that I was part of it. It was the highlight of my career. I've had many winners. I've won in July in South Africa, the Jamie Met, all the big ones. But to go all the way to Hong Kong and win like probably the biggest sprint in the world, and being part of the whole setup was fantastic.
I don't think there's ever been a more exciting time in South African bloodstock, with the kind of blood that we see following through. No sooner has Jetmaster bid us farewell, and of course broken the record books in his own right, then along comes a horse that was actually quite difficult to sell initially, and people somehow just didn't cotton on to what was lying deep inside those veins of the progeny of Silvano.
No, listen, he's just been a revelation, and I mean, the older they get, the better they get, and we saw that with Marshall Eagle. And they continue. I mean, Heavy Metal's victory in the July this year was just unbelievable. And he's going to go campaign overseas, and he's going to be a champion for us. I mean, obviously John Slade knew this all the time. He's a massive fan of Silvano and has been forever and a day. And so it's vindicated. The stallion has come to the fore, and he's going from strength to strength, both locally and internationally, which is just a phenomenal feat.
Preceding the National 2-year-old sale, you've managed to get South Africa's greatest living sporting ambassador, the one and only Gary Player.
He's a fantastic man. I can't tell you how much I respect Gary and have watched him. When we were kids, he was just a great ambassador, and he's a great ambassador for our racing and breeding game. And he is going to be a patron of our golf day that we are holding before the sale on the Tuesday the 13th at Royal Joburg. We've got a great field of people playing, all raising money for a good cause, for the retired athletes, something that Gary holds extremely close to his heart, as I do. And we really are looking forward to the day. And more importantly, to be honest, we're looking forward to having Gary there as a friend and as a guest of honour. And his draft for the National 2-year-old sale look excellent. He's got the first son of Yates ever to be sold in South Africa, a filly that is out of a Daniel Dancer mare. So it's a Saddlewell's Daniel Dancer cross.
Yes.
He's a 4-time Gold Cup winner, an absolute legend of the turf. So once again, it's quite exciting for us to have some of these international pedigrees in our sales ring, and the player draft looks phenomenal this year.